Hello, friends. Welcome back to Old Coins News, your ultimate stop for fascinating U.S. coin stories. Today, we're exploring some amazing Kennedy half dollars from the 1973D to the 1994P that hold history, hidden details, and even some surprising value. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow coin collectors so you never miss any rare coin discoveries. All right. That's enough talking, so let's get started. The 1974 United States half dollar with a D mint mark, indicating it was minted at the Denver Mint, is a coin steeped in historical significance, intricate design, and numismatic interest. Officially part of the Kennedy half dollar series, this coin continued the legacy of the series first introduced in 1964, following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. The obverse of the 1974 half dollar features a finely detailed left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, capturing both his youthful vigor and dignified demeanor. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty," prominently displayed along the upper edge, and the phrase "In God We Trust" split along the lower sides, emphasizing both the coin's patriotic and religious undertones. Just below the neck of Kennedy, the small D mint mark is a crucial detail, signifying its origin in Denver, Colorado, and giving collectors a point of differentiation from coins minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, or San Francisco, S mint mark. The reverse of the coin showcases a presidential seal, a symbol brimming with American iconography. At the center, an eagle with outstretched wings clutches arrows in an olive branch, representing both the nation's readiness to defend itself and its commitment to peace. Surrounding the eagle is a ring of 50 stars, each representing a state in the Union, encapsulating a sense of unity and national pride. Encircling the design are the inscriptions "United States of America" along the top and half dollar at the bottom, clearly defining its denomination. The rim of the coin is reeded, providing both a tactile and visual edge, a feature that historically helped prevent clipping and counterfeiting in coinage. In terms of composition, the 1974 Kennedy half dollar in circulation is primarily clad, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This composition marked a shift from earlier coins of the series, which initially contained 90% silver in 1964 and 40% silver from 1965 to 1970, reflecting changing economic policies and the rising cost of silver. Weighing approximately 11.34 grams and measuring 30.6 millimeters in diameter, the coin carries a solid and satisfying heft when held, while its edge remains finely ridged to touch. The 1974 D Kennedy half dollar had a massive mintage, reflecting the continued popularity of the series and the U.S. Mint's commitment to producing coins for everyday circulation. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, making them relatively common in the context of 20th century U.S. coinage, though certain uncirculated or proof specimens, especially in high grades, hold significant value to collectors. Numismatists often examine the strike quality, surface luster, and absence of marks or scratches to determine the coin's condition, as these factors dramatically affect its market value. While circulated 1974 D halves are typically of modest collector value, uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can command respectable prices due to their aesthetic appeal and historical relevance. Beyond its physical and aesthetic attributes, the 1974 D Kennedy half dollar represents a broader cultural and historical narrative. It was minted during a period of political and social transformation in the United States, just a year after the Watergate scandal began to unfold and in the midst of economic challenges, including inflation and changes in monetary policy. As such, the coin is not just a piece of currency but a tangible link to American history in the mid-1970s, carrying with it stories of the era, public sentiment, and the enduring legacy of a president whose life and tenure left an indelible mark on the nation. Collectors often cherish these coins not only for their design and metallic composition, but also as artifacts representing a critical period in American history, making each piece a symbol of both national pride and personal connection for those who study or collect them. In conclusion, the 1974 D United States half dollar stands as a remarkable example of American coinage, blending artistry, symbolism, and history. Its obverse honors President Kennedy with a carefully crafted portrait, while the reverse embodies the ideals of the nation through the presidential seal. Though it is relatively common in circulation, its value as a collectible rises sharply when in pristine condition or when housed within a certified coin set. For numismatists and history enthusiasts alike, this coin is a reminder of the enduring Kennedy legacy, the evolution of U.S. coinage, and the story of a nation navigating change in the 1970s. Whether examined for its design, its minting details, or its historical context, the 1974 D Kennedy half dollar remains a fascinating piece worthy of study, display, and admiration. The 1994 United States half dollar with the P mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, is part of the enduring Kennedy half dollar series, which began in 1964 to commemorate the life and presidency of John F. Kennedy. The coin carries with it not only monetary value but also deep historical and cultural significance, serving as both a medium of exchange and a piece of American heritage. The obverse features the iconic left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, sculpted with careful attention to detail, highlighting the contours of his face, the determined expression in his eyes, and the refined structure of his hair. Encircling the portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty" at the top, a timeless declaration of the nation's foundational principle, and "In God We Trust" positioned along the lower sides, reflecting both the national motto and the spiritual sentiments prevalent in U.S. coinage. Just beneath Kennedy's neck, the P mint mark signifies a Philadelphia origin, a subtle but important feature for collectors who value mint-specific differences in the historical production context. The reverse of the 1994 half dollar retains a classic presidential seal design, a symbol deeply embedded in American numismatic tradition. At the center, an eagle spreads its wings wide, grasping an olive branch in one talon, representing peace, and a bundle of arrows in the other, signifying readiness to defend the nation. Surrounding the eagle is a circle of 50 stars, representing the unity of the states, while the inscriptions "United States of America" along the top edge and "half dollar" along the bottom clearly indicate the coin's denomination and origin. The rim is reeded, a feature that has been standard in U.S. half dollars for decades, providing both tactile and visual definition while helping to prevent counterfeiting. From a compositional standpoint, the 1994 Kennedy half dollar is a clad coin consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a solid copper core. This composition, consistent with Kennedy halves minted after 1970, marked a shift away from silver content, making the coins more accessible for general circulation while retaining a pleasing metallic appearance. The coin weighs approximately 11.34 grams and measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, offering a substantial feel in the hand, with a firm, reeded edge that complement the overall design. While the 1964 Kennedy half dollar was composed of 90% silver and the 1965 to 1970 coins included 40% silver, by 1994 the series had fully transitioned to the copper-nickel clad standard, reflecting changes in economic factors, metal prices, and minting strategies over the decades. In terms of production, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these 1994 half dollars, making them widely available in circulation, though certain uncirculated improved versions are produced in smaller numbers for collectors and special sets. Numismatists often examine coins like the 1994 P for strike quality, luster, and absence of blemishes, as these factors greatly influence the collectible value. While circulated specimens are generally modest in market value, high-grade examples, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can command premium prices due to their pristine condition and visual appeal. The mint mark, subtle though significant, allows collectors to distinguish between Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco productions, adding another layer of interest and specificity in evaluating a collection. Beyond its technical and aesthetic attributes, the 1994 P Kennedy half dollar embodies a broader narrative of American history and culture. Produced during the Clinton administration, the coin reflects a period of relative economic growth, technological advancement, and post-Cold War optimism in the United States. It serves as a reminder of the enduring popularity and symbolic power of Kennedy's legacy decades after his assassination, with the series continuing to honor his memory through consistent design and circulation. Collectors appreciate the coin not only for its visual details and metallic composition, but also as a tangible connection to the political, cultural, and social currents of the early 1990s. From a numismatic perspective, the 1994 P half dollar is particularly valued in sets such as mint state collections or proof sets, which preserve the coin in its original condition and often feature enhanced surfaces for maximum luster and sharpness. Such coins provide a clear view of Kennedy's portrait and the intricacies of the presidential seal, making them highly desirable for both display and study. Even among circulated examples, the coin's design remains sharp enough that the eagle, arrows, olive branch, stars, and inscriptions are all clearly visible, a testament to the quality of U.S. mint production standards. Collectors may also examine edge details, dye variations, and surface characteristics to identify unique features or minor errors that can elevate a coin's rarity and desirability. In conclusion, the 1994 United States half-dollar represents more than just currency. It is a piece of history, a tribute to a president whose vision and impact remain influential, and an example of American numismatic craftsmanship. Its obverse features a dignified portrait of John F. Kennedy, flanked by the timeless inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, while the reverse proudly displays a presidential seal, symbolizing the nation's unity and ideals. Though the coin is common in circulation, high-quality examples offer collectors a valuable opportunity to own a pristine piece of history, bridging past and present. Whether appreciated for its artistry, historical significance, or place in a comprehensive coin collection, the 1994 Kennedy half-dollar remains a compelling, informative, and highly collectible artifact of American numismatics. The 1973 United States half-dollar with a D mint mark, indicating production of the Denver Mint, is part of a long-running and historically significant Kennedy half-dollar series, which began in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963. The series quickly became one of the most popular in U.S. numismatic history, due to both its design and the enduring appeal of Kennedy himself. The obverse of the 1973 half-dollar features a now iconic left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, a detailed and dignified representation sculpted to capture the character, youthfulness, and leadership qualities of the 35th President of the United States. Around the portrait, the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust are displayed prominently, reflecting the patriotic and spiritual values that have been central to U.S. coinage for centuries. The small D mint mark, located just below Kennedy's neck, identifies the coin as a product of the Denver Mint, a detail that numismatists prize for its role in distinguishing coins of identical year and design produced at different locations. The reverse side of the coin presents the classic presidential seal, which has been a hallmark of the Kennedy half-dollar since its inception. At the center, an eagle with outstretched wings grasps a bundle of arrows in one talon, representing military preparedness, and an olive branch in the other, symbolizing peace and diplomatic strength. Surrounding the eagle is a circle of 50 stars, each representing a state in the Union, reinforcing the sense of national unity and pride. The inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar frame the design along the top and bottom edges, respectively, while the coin's rim is reeded, offering both a tactile and visual definition that enhances security and aesthetic appeal. The 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar is composed of clad metal, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a solid copper core. This composition, standard since 1971, marked a departure from the earlier Kennedy halves, which were minted with 90% silver in 1964 and 40% silver from 1965 to 1970. This change reflected economic considerations, including the rising cost of silver and the need for a more cost-effective coinage suitable for general circulation. The coin weighs 11.34 grams and measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, giving it a satisfying weight in hand and a substantial presence when held or examined. The reeded edge not only provides tactile feedback, but also continues a centuries-old tradition in coin design that helps deter counterfeiting and preserves a coin's integrity over time. In 1973, the Denver Mint produced a significant number of these half-dollars, ensuring their widespread circulation, although many collectors focus on uncirculated and proof versions for their sharp details and superior luster. The minting quality and surface condition play a major role in determining the collectible value of the coin, with pristine examples graded MS-65 or higher considered particularly desirable. While circulated coins from this year are relatively common and often traded at modest prices, uncirculated specimens can command a higher premium, especially when carefully preserved in official mint sets or protective holders. The presence of the D mint mark adds another layer of collectability, allowing enthusiasts to differentiate Denver coins from those minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, or San Francisco, S mint mark, and it also contributes to the story of U.S. mint operations and production practices of the era. Beyond its physical attributes, the 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar reflects broader historical and cultural contexts. The coin was minted during a period of significant social and political change in the United States, including the aftermath of the Vietnam War, evolving economic policies, and the early years of the Watergate scandal. It serves not only as a unit of currency but also as a tangible link to the era, preserving both the legacy of President Kennedy and the broader narrative of 1970s America. Collectors value the coin as a historical artifact that captures the spirit, values, and aesthetic standards of its time, making it more than just metal. It becomes a story in your hand, connecting the past with the present. Numismatically, the 1973 D half dollar is appreciated for its design fidelity, craftsmanship, and accessibility. The portrait of Kennedy remains sharp and detailed, and the presidential seal continues to display the intricate features that have made this reverse design enduringly popular. For collectors, examining the coin surface for luster, strike clarity, and any minor imperfections or die variations can reveal subtle details that may enhance its value or interest. High-grade examples from this year are often sought after for mint state collections, and they serve as educational tools for understanding both coin production and historical context. Even in circulated condition, the 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar maintains the recognizable elegance and symbolism that have made the series a staple in American numismatics. In conclusion, the 1973 D. United States half dollar is a remarkable piece of American coinage, blending artistry, history, and cultural significance. Its obverse honors President Kennedy with a portrait that conveys leadership and dignity, while the reverse, featuring the presidential seal, embodies the ideals of the United States through carefully rendered symbols of unity, peace, and defense. Though relatively common in circulation, its collectible appeal increases with condition, minting quality, and provenance. For collectors, historians, and enthusiasts, this coin represents a tangible connection to the United States in the early 1970s, preserving both the memory of a beloved president and the story of a nation navigating a complex and transformative era. Whether studied for design, historical context, or numismatic detail, the 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar remains a fascinating, informative, and significant coin in the panorama of U.S. coinage history. The 1980 United States half dollar with a D mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint, is part of the enduring Kennedy half dollar series, which has remained one of the most iconic and recognizable coins in American numismatics since its introduction in 1964. This series was created in memory of President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963, and it quickly captured public attention not only for its commemorative significance but also for its distinctive and elegant design. On the obverse, the coin features a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, expertly crafted to highlight both his youthful energy and the dignity associated with his presidency. Surrounding this portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty," positioned along the top edge of the coin, and "In God We Trust," placed on the lower portion, reflecting the national motto and the country's patriotic ideals. The small D mint mark, located just below Kennedy's neck, identifies the Denver Mint as a place of origin, a critical detail for collectors who seek to distinguish coins produced in different mints and understand the historical context of coin production. On the reverse, the coin continues to feature the familiar presidential seal, a design that has defined the series for decades. The central motif is an eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows in one talon to symbolize strength and readiness for defense, while holding an olive branch in the other to represent the nation's desire for peace. Encircling the eagle is a ring of 50 stars, representing each state in the Union, while the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar are positioned along the top and bottom edges, respectively. The rim is reeded, a standard feature that provides both aesthetic appeal and a practical function, historically used to prevent coin clipping and deter counterfeiting. This combination of symbolism, artistry, and practicality has contributed to the Kennedy half dollar's enduring popularity and collectible appeal. The 1980 D. Kennedy half dollar is composed of a copper-nickel clad, with outer layers consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a solid copper core. This composition, use for all half dollars minted for circulation after 1970, reflect a shift away from silver content due to economic considerations, including the rising price of silver and the need for more cost-effective coinage suitable for everyday transactions. The coin weighs approximately 11.34 grams and measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, giving it a solid and satisfying feel in hand, while the reeded edge enhances both the tactile experience and visual definition. Unlike earlier Kennedy halves minted from 1964 to 1970, which contained silver, the 1980 half dollar's copper-nickel-clad construction offered durability and practicality, ensuring it would withstand the rigors of circulation while retaining its aesthetic qualities. During 1980, the Denver Mint produced millions of these half dollars, making them relatively common in circulation, though uncirculated and proof examples hold particular interest for collectors. The coin's value is heavily influenced by its condition, with pristine mint-state examples graded MS65 or higher being especially desirable. Collectors examine factors such as strike quality, surface luster, absence of marks or scratches, and overall visual appeal when determining a coin's numismatic value. The D mint mark further enhances a coin's collectible interest, allowing enthusiasts to differentiate it from Philadelphia, no mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark, production, and adding historical context about U.S. mint operations in the late 20th century. Beyond its technical and aesthetic features, the 1980 D Kennedy half dollar represents a period of American history marked by significant social, economic, and political developments. Produced during the final year of the Carter administration, the coin emerged in a context of economic challenge, including inflation and changing monetary policy, while the nation grappled with domestic and international issues. It is a tangible artifact from this era, reflecting not only the continued popularity of Kennedy's legacy, but also the cultural, political, and economic climate of the United States in the early 1980s. For collectors and history enthusiasts alike, the coin serves as a window into this period, providing both historical context and a connection to the enduring narrative of American coinage. From a numismatic perspective, the 1980 D Kennedy half dollar is valued for its design fidelity, craftsmanship, and accessibility. The obverse portrait of Kennedy remains sharp, with finely detailed hair, facial features, and the contours of the neck clearly visible, while the reverse eagle and stars maintain their intricate, crisp appearance. Even circulated coins typically retain these details, making the series highly recognizable and collectible. Collectors often focus on acquiring high-grade examples or coins from specific mint sets to complete their collections, sometimes seeking subtle die variations, minor errors, or uncirculated specimens with full luster. The coin's accessibility and enduring popularity have made it a cornerstone of American numismatic collections, bridging both casual collecting and serious numismatics. In conclusion, the 1980 D United States half dollar stands as a significant piece of U.S. coinage, blending historical relevance, artistry, and cultural symbolism. Its obverse commemorates President John F. Kennedy, honoring his life and legacy, while the reverse, featuring the presidential seal, encapsulates the ideals of unity, peace, and national pride. Although common in circulation, coins in excellent condition or from mint sets carry meaningful collectible value, making the 1980 D Kennedy half dollar a sought-after item for numismatists. Beyond its monetary role, it serves as a historical artifact, connecting collectors and enthusiasts to the early 1980s United States, the continuing impact of Kennedy's legacy, and the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. Whether for study, display, or collection, this coin embodies both the story of a president and the narrative of a nation, maintaining its place as a fascinating, informative, and enduring piece of American numismatics. The 1984 United States half dollar with a D mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint, is a prominent example of the Kennedy half dollar series, one of the most recognizable and enduring series in American numismatics. Introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963, the Kennedy half dollar quickly became an emblem of both historical significance and aesthetic craftsmanship. The obverse features a well-known left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, designed to capture his youth charisma and the dignity that defined his leadership. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty" along the upper edge and "In God We Trust" along the lower portion of the coin, reflecting both the nation's patriotic and spiritual values. The subtle D mint mark, positioned just below Kennedy's neck, signifies the Denver Mint as the site of production, a key detail for collectors who seek to distinguish between coins from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, as well as to understand variations in mintage numbers and production practices of the era. The reverse of the 1984 D Kennedy half dollar continues to feature the presidential seal, a design that has been central to this series since 1964. At the heart of the design, a bald eagle spreads its wings, clutching a bundle of arrows in one talon to represent military readiness and an olive branch in the other to symbolize peace. Encircling the eagle are 50 stars, representing the unity of the states in the Union. The inscriptions United States of America along the top and half dollar along the bottom provide a clear indication of the coin's origin and denomination. The coin's reeded edge not only provides visual and tactile appeal, but historically serves as a security feature, helping to prevent coin clipping and counterfeiting, a tradition that has been maintained for centuries in U.S. coinage. From a composition standpoint, the 1984 D Kennedy half dollar is a copper-nickel-clad coin, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a solid copper core. This composition has been standard for all circulation half dollars since 1971, marking a departure from earlier issues that contained silver, 90% silver in 1964 and 40% silver from 1965 through 1970. The clad design allowed the U.S. Mint to produce durable, cost-effective coins suitable for general circulation, while maintaining the visual appeal and heft that collectors and the public expect. The coin weighs 11.34 grams and measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, giving it a solid feel and a reassuring weight when held, while the reeded edge enhances the overall tactile experience. In 1984, the Denver Mint produced millions of these half dollars, ensuring their widespread circulation. Despite their relative abundance in circulation, uncirculated and proof examples are highly sought after by collectors. The coin's value is primarily determined by its condition, with pristine mint state coins graded MS65 or higher commanding particular interest. Factors such as strike sharpness, surface luster, and the absence of blemishes are critical in assessing numismatic value. The presence of the D mint mark further enhances collectability, allowing enthusiasts to distinguish these coins from Philadelphia, no mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark, issues, providing historical context about production of the Denver Mint and offering a level of specificity highly prized in serious collections. Beyond its physical attributes, the 1984 D Kennedy half dollar reflects the broader historical and cultural context of the early 1980s. Minted during the first term of President Ronald Reagan, the coin represents an era of social, political, and economic transformation in the United States. From a numismatic perspective, this coin is not only a unit of currency but also a tangible connection to this period, embodying continuing legacy of President Kennedy while simultaneously serving as a witness to the social and economic currents of the time. Collectors value it both as a historical artifact and as a piece of art, bridging the realms of history, design, and investment. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1984 D Kennedy half dollar is celebrated for its craftsmanship, design consistency, and accessibility. The obverse portrait captures Kennedy's recognizable features in sharp relief, while the reverse presidential seal maintains crisp detailing in the eagle's feathers, arrows, olive branch, and surrounding stars. Even circulated examples often retain these details, making them appealing for both casual collectors and serious numismatists. High-grade, uncirculated specimens are often collected in official mint sets, while some enthusiasts also seek subtle die variations, minor errors, or exceptional strikes that can increase a coin's value and rarity. In conclusion, the 1984 D United States half dollar represents a significant chapter in the story of American coinage. Its obverse commemorates the life and leadership of John F. Kennedy, while the reverse presidential seal embodies national ideals of unity, peace, and defense. While common in general circulation, coins in pristine condition or included in mint sets hold meaningful collectible value, making them sought-after items in numismatic circles. More than a monetary instrument, this coin serves as a historical artifact that links collectors to the early 1980s and a continuing impact of Kennedy's legacy. Its enduring design, historical context, and collectible appeal make the 1984 D Kennedy half dollar a fascinating, informative, and timeless piece of American numismatics. The 1990 United States half dollar with a D mint mark producer of the Denver Mint, is part of the iconic Kennedy half-dollar series, a collection that has stood as a symbol of American history and craftsmanship since its introduction in 1964. This series was established to honor President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963, and it quickly became one of the most widely recognized coins in the United States. The obverse of the 1990 half-dollar features a familiar left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, a carefully sculpted image that captures both his youthful vigor and the dignity of his leadership. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty" at the top and "In God We Trust" along the lower sides, reflecting both patriotic sentiment and the enduring national motto. The small D mint mark, located just below Kennedy's neck, identifies a coin as originating from the Denver Mint, a detail that is significant for collectors seeking to distinguish coins produced at different mint locations and understand production nuances from that era. The reverse of the 1990 D Kennedy half-dollar continues a tradition established in 1964, featuring the presidential seal, which has become synonymous with this series. At its center, a bold eagle spreads its wings wide, clutching a bundle of arrows in one talon to symbolize the nation's readiness of defense and an olive branch in the other to represent peace. Encircling the eagle is a ring of 50 stars, each representing a state in the Union, reinforcing the theme of national unity. The inscriptions "United States of America" along the top and "half-dollar" along the bottom clearly indicate the coin's country of origin and denomination. The reeded edge, a consistent feature in half-dollars since the 19th century, not only provides aesthetic balance but also historically served as a security feature to prevent counterfeiting and coin clipping. The composition of the 1990 D Kennedy half-dollar is a copper-nickel clad, consisting of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This clad composition, used for all circulation half-dollars since 1971, marked a shift from earlier coins containing silver, allowing the mint to produce coins more economically while maintaining durability and visual appeal. The coin weighs 11.34 grams and measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, giving it a substantial feel in hand and a smooth, tactile experience, enhanced by the reeded edge. Unlike the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar, which contained 90% silver, or the 1965 to 1970 coins with 40% silver, the 1990 D coin reflects a fully clad era, designed for mass circulation and everyday use while retaining the iconic design elements that define the series. In 1990, the Denver Mint produced millions of these half-dollars, making them relatively common in general circulation, yet uncirculated and proof examples remain sought after by collectors. The coin's numismatic value is influenced primarily by its condition, with pristine mint state coins graded MS65 or higher being particularly desirable. Factors such as strike quality, luster, absence of surface marks, and overall aesthetic appeal determine the coin's worth among collectors. The presence of the D mint mark is a key detail, helping differentiate Denver coins from Philadelphia, no mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark productions, which is particularly important for those completing comprehensive collections or studying production patterns. Beyond its physical and aesthetic attributes, the 1990 D Kennedy half-dollar represents a slice of historical and cultural context. Minted during the final year of President George H.W. Bush's administration, the coin emerges from a period of transition in American history, with shifts in the global economy, the end of the Cold War, and evolving domestic policies. As such, the coin is not only a unit of currency but also a historical artifact, reflecting both the enduring legacy of President Kennedy and the political, economic, and social landscape of the United States in 1990. Collectors and history enthusiasts often value the coin as a tangible connection to this period, offering insight into both the minting process and the broader story of American society. From a numismatic perspective, the 1990 D Kennedy half-dollar is appreciated for its design consistency, craftsmanship, and accessibility. The obverse portrait of Kennedy remains finely detailed, highlighting hair texture, facial contours, and the dignified expression of the late president, while the reverse presidential seal maintains its intricate and recognizable design. Even circulated coins typically retain sharpness in these elements, making the series highly collectible. Serious collectors often focus on uncirculated coins, mint sets, and high-grade examples that preserve full luster and detail, while some may seek subtle die variations, minor mint errors, or special strike characteristics that add uniqueness to a specimen. In conclusion, the 1990D United States half dollar is a coin of both historical and numismatic significance. Its obverse commemorates President John F. Kennedy, honoring his legacy and leadership, while the reverse embodies the ideals of the United States through the presidential seal, with symbols of unity, peace, and strength. Though relatively common in circulation, the coin's value increases in high-grade or uncirculated conditions, making it an appealing collectible. Beyond monetary function, it serves as a historical artifact, connecting collectors and enthusiasts to the early 1990s and the ongoing impact of Kennedy's memory. Whether studied for its artistry, collected for its numismatic value, or displayed as a piece of history, the 1990D Kennedy half dollar remains a fascinating, informative, and enduring element of American coinage.